Talking about leases. Except as disclosed in this contract, seller is not aware of any leases affecting this property. After the effective date, seller may not, without buyer's written consent, create a new lease, amend any existing leases, or convey any interest in the property. Check all that apply. So you're going to be checking if the property has any of these types of leases, which is a residential lease, a fixture lease, or a natural resources lease. You would know if you got a lease or this home is affected by a lease by looking at MLS, agent remarks, attachments, okay? The seller will indicate, or listing agent will indicate that to you if we're in one of these situations. And if you are, you're going to check which box applies, okay? If you're not, you don't check any of them. Let's go into them in a little bit more detail. So residential lease means that someone else has a lease on the property and they're currently residing in the property, okay? If this is the case, if there's a lease currently on the property while you're writing this contract, then there's going to be a specific addendum that needs to go with that. See that? This is checked. There's an addendum that goes with that. Fixture leases. Fixture leases are fixtures that are on the property. So fixtures are things that are built into the property. However, the seller does not own it. Examples are solar panels, propane tank, water softener systems, security systems. If this home has a fixture lease on it, which will be indicated from the listing agent in some form or fashion, MLS, agent remarks, attachment, then you're going to check this. And there is a specific addendum that needs to go with that as well. So either one of these attached, check, there's an addendum that goes with these, okay? Now, if it's a natural resources lease, there's not an addendum that's needed. You just need to check here and you'll decide, you'll select seller has delivered a copy of the natural resources lease. That means it's already either attached or they emailed it to you, prior to you writing this contract. If it's not attached in MLS or they didn't email this to you, then you'll be selecting this one right here, which seller has not delivered to the buyer a copy of this natural resources lease, and seller shall provide to the buyer a copy of the resources lease within 3 days after the effective date. Buyer may terminate this contract within, I would say, 7 days after the date the buyer, they get a copy of it. But yep, that's box 4. If you have any questions about residential lease or fixture leases, let me know.